what's going on, guys? This is Juno Beats, and in this video I want to deconstruct how Teen X by Playboi Carti featuring Future was made in FL Studio. Alright, so credit where credit's due. This beat was made by huge producer, made a lot of Uzi beats, Playboi Carti, and a bunch of other big artists. One of my favorite producers, man, super talented. Go check him out if you don't know who he is by chance. And a quick disclaimer before we get started. When I made this beat, I tried my best to replicate all the sound effects that the engineers gave it after it was made, probably like a lot of distortion, frequency boosts, and carve outs, things like that. So it might not be 100% accurate, but I think this gives you a pretty decent idea on how the beat was made overall. So in this beat, it might sound like a lot's going on at first, and it is because a lot of frequencies blend together, so it took me forever to get this right. I think I'm on version 7 of this, but I think I finally got it for you guys. We have melody 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a clap, snare, hi-hat, some open hats, and an 808. All right, for the first melody, we are using 2 plugins. One is Serum using the LD bottle blower preset. Next plugin is one called Surge. If you guys don't have this plugin, go get it, man. It's free. It's awesome. It has a lot of digital sound effects in it. And shout out to 16 for making a tutorial on this on his YouTube channel. Taught me a lot and really helped me with this deconstructed. For the leads category, we're using the Turbo Solo preset. It'll be playing these notes. Okay, so for effects, not a whole lot, just carving out some frequencies and adding a little bit of wobble with some space on RC20. That's for the Surge plugin. And for Serum, we are just taking out some frequencies, and I used a plugin called HYTP2. It just gives it sort of a tremolo, like wobbly type effect. So without the effects, with the effects. Okay, moving on to melody number 2. We are using 2 plugins for this as well. Purity, the pan flute preset, along with some Vox and a pad being layered in. Next, we have GMS, which is a free stock FL Studio plugin using the Basses Drive Pass preset. Here are the notes that both of those will be playing. Okay, for presets, it looks like a lot going on. Basically just a lot of distortion and some crushing using Effectrix. A little bit of bit crush too, not a whole lot. So without the effects, they sound like this. With the effects. All right, just to give you an idea, both those melodies together sound like this. Okay, on to melody number 3, using the Surge plugin again, the Plux 80s Gliss preset. Here are the notes that this one's playing. For effects, pretty much the same thing, just adding some crushing, taking out some frequencies, and adding a little bit of bit crush as well, just to give it some more presence. So without the effects, with the effects. All 3 melodies together. Okay, and for our 4th melody, again, going back to the Surge plugin, we have the Keys Organ 2 preset. And this pattern right here, it took me a while to hear it. So if you guys did hear it before me, you have great ears, because seriously, I had to listen to this song like over 100 times. I can no longer listen to Teen X. But anyway, here's the final pattern. That's such a beautiful pattern, man. I really like it. All of the melodies together. All right, moving on to the drums. The claps, we just layered 2 together to give it some extra texture. We got a DT clap called the block snare. We also layered that with a Nick Mira raw clap. Together, those 2 sound like this. Moving on to the snare pattern. For the snare, we're using one from a Cymatics kit called the March Snare. We'll be playing this pattern. And I'll play it with the claps just so you can hear it. Okay, for the hi-hats, just to try to replicate it, we're using 2. One from a UK drill kit called the Hi-Hat Mafia hi-hat. Layering that with a Sub-Zero hi-hat. I think I got it from a Pierre Bourne drum kit. Together, those 2 will be playing this pattern. Okay, lastly, onto the 808. Pretty sure this is the Spins 808. So the pattern the 808 plays is this one. For effects on the 808, gave it some sausage fattener just with a little bit of distortion. Camel Crusher, the British high gain preset, but notice I only applied that about 25%. And as far as frequency boostings, some of the lower mid frequencies around 391 Hertz, just to make that distortion stand out and sound extra crunchy, and some of the lower frequencies to really make that subwoofer rattle. Again, all the drums with the melodies sound like this. So the last thing to cover about this beat is just this section right here. You have a part where the 808 cuts out. For this, you have a second 808 pattern. The end of it right here just extends into this section. So here's the pattern that it is. It's the same one as normal. You just took this D note and just extended it a little bit more. So here's the transition. Okay, so in this section where the 808 does cut out, we also have a second snare pattern coming in using the same cymatic snare, just playing a separate pattern. So here's what this one sounds like. Okay, and lastly in this section, you have two open hat patterns coming in. For the first pattern, I just layered two open hats together. Together, both of them play this pattern. And the last open hat to come in, I just used one from a Ocean drum kit called Driller's Open Hat 1. And with the first hi-hat pattern, here's what this one sounds like. And together all the melodies and drums without the 808 in this section. And that's pretty much it. And then you have it go back to blasting the Spins 808. Alright, cool. I think that is it for this Deconstructed, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. Truly appreciate it. Guys, we reached 1K subs. Thank you all so much. I need to come up with something to do as a celebratory giveaway or something. If you guys liked or learned something from this video, please consider hitting that like and sub button just like always. And until then, I guess I will catch you guys in the next video.